Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Desi TV USA. I am Tabinda Gul. Let's take a look at the headlines. US cautions UK over Palestinian state recognitions, calls France move reckless. Trump's granddaughter Chloe makes surprise appearance on Air Force One. Trump set 10 days deadline for Russia to end Ukraine war. Mayor Eric Adams mourns New York City shooting victims at Spear Vigil. Governor Hochul pushes gun control at Vigil after Manhattan shooting. Boeing reports smaller than an expected loss as jet deliveries rebound. UK signals September recognitions of Palestinian state amid United Nations talk on two-state solution. Trump's open new golf course in Scotland cities focus on global crisis. Thousands celebrate England women's soccer team's historic Euro 2025 victory. US Treasury warns China over Russian oil purchases. China defends energy sovereignty. And 8 airdrops begins as Gaza faces risks of famine, warns hunger monitor. These are headlines, lead to news detail. Viewers, now the top story is here. US State Department spokesperson Tammy Bruce responding to the UK's plan to recognize a Palestinian state by September. If implemented, the UK would follow France, which made the move last week. Secretary of State Marco Rubio labeled France's decisions reckless, stressing that recognition must come through direct Israeli-Palestinian negotiation, not unilateral announcement.
Hi, you guys. All right, everyone. Thank you very much for being here. Great to see all of you. We do have some announcements as we proceed with our briefing, and then, of course, happy to take some questions. This week, the UN is serving as host to an unproductive and ill-timed conference on the so-called two-state solution in New York City. This is a publicity stunt that comes in the middle of delicate diplomatic efforts to end the conflict in Gaza. Far from promoting peace, the conference will prolong the war, will embolden Hamas, and reward its obstruction and undermine real-world efforts to achieve.
Viewers, now President Donald Trump's granddaughter Chloe made an unexpected on-camera appearance aboard Air Force One. The moment sparkled a smile as Trump affectionately remarks, "This title girl has a lot of muscle." The light-hearted exchange offered a rare glimpse into the president family life during official travel.
Chloe, do you want to come over? Chloe is she's a great golfer, a great talented golfer. She's probably the most talented golfer other than Kai, but I think it's about the same, right? Don't you think?
Yeah.
She hits the ball long. This little girl has a lot of muscle, right?
Yeah.
So, and she wins every tournament she plays in of her age.
Yes, very fun.
You love golf, right?
Yes.
But she's a great athlete.
Viewers, now President Donald Trump has announced a new 10 days deadline for Russia to take a step toward ending the war in Ukraine. The move signals a sharp escalation in diplomatic pressure as Trump pushes for a swift resolution, urging Moscow to engage in meaningful negotiations or face undisclosed consequences.
Mr. President, yesterday you mentioned that you would change the Russia deadline to 10 to 12 days. Has that started yet, or when can we, see the official statement that is the new deadline?
I'll tell you what, I'll give it to you now. Do you want a big scoop?
Yes, please.
Everybody else, close your ears, okay? You ready?
I'm ready.
10 days from today.
Got it.
Okay?
Got it.
Good. We have a...
Now, at a solemn prayer vigil for victim of the New York City's office building shooting, Mayor Eric Adams delivered an emotional speech saying children are supposed to bury their parents. Parents are not supposed to bury their children. The tragedy has shaken the city, prompting renewed call for gun violence prevention.
Oh, I'm the mayor, I'm still a man. And I thought about my baby, my young son that I watched and I raised, and how much I poured into him, and how much I gave my life for him. And to lose a child, it is one of the most abnormal things that could happen in our society. Children are supposed to bury their parents. Parents are not supposed to bury their children.
Viewers, now Governor Kathy Hochul expressed deep sorrow at a vigil for the victim of the Midtown Manhattan shooting, says, "My heart is broken." She used the moment to renew calls for stronger gun control legislation, urging lawmakers to act swiftly to prevent further tragedies across New York and the nation.
I could not stop but think about that iconic logo that defines all of us. The I Love New York. That big red heart in the middle of it. You see it everywhere. Tonight, my friends, that heart is broken because there's collective pain shared by all of us. There's one thing I know, though, that heart will mend. It'll heal.
Now, Boeing quarterly loss more than halved, coming in well below analyst expectation. The improvement reflects the U.S. plane makers' recovery from a regulatory crisis and a major strike that halted productions last year. Increased jet deliveries played a key role in narrowing the losses and signaling stabilizations across Boeing operation.
Boeing reported on Tuesday its quarterly losses had more than halved, coming in much smaller than analyst expectations. That's as the US plane maker ramped up jet production and deliveries. The company's free cash flow, a key measure for Wall Street, also came in better than projected to signal a better cash position. Revenue for the quarter rose 35% to $22.75 billion, beating forecasts.
Now, minister convenes at a United Nations conference to advance a two-state solutions between Israel and the Palestinians. Early today, Britain announces readiness to recognize a Palestinian state by September, responding at mounting public outrages of horrific images of starving children in Gaza and the escalating humanitarian crisis.
Our goal remains a safe and secure Israel, alongside a viable and sovereign Palestinian state.
Israel's foreign ministry said it rejected Starmer's statement. The support for Palestinian statehood reflects Israel's deepening isolation over its conduct in its war against Hamas in Gaza. The death toll in the war-ravaged enclave has crossed 60,000, according to the Gaza Health Ministry, where a humanitarian disaster has set in. Amid warnings from international aid agencies that people in Gaza are facing starvation, a growing number of lawmakers in Starmer's Labour Party have been asking him to recognize a Palestinian state to raise pressure on Israel. Britain, if it acts, would follow a similar move.
Now, U.S. President Donald Trump formally inaugurated a new golf course and its estate in Scotland, noting he would play a quick round before returning home. Trump emphasized his commitment to addressing major global issues, including escalating crises in the Middle East and other international challenges.
We're going to have a great and peaceful world, and on a much smaller scale, this will be a tremendously successful place, and a place where people can come and enjoy life, and it's very special. So I hope everybody in Scotland and well beyond Scotland enjoys it for many, many years to come. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. It's going to be it's going to be great. I look forward to playing it today. We'll play it very quickly, and then I go back to Desi, and we put out fires all over the world. We did one yesterday. As you know, we stopped a war, but we've stopped about 5 wars. So that's much more important than playing golf. As much as I like it, it's much more important.
Now, thousands of jubilant fans gathered in central London to cheer the England women's soccer team during an open-top bus parade. The players celebrated their historic Euro 2025 win, marking a landmark achievement for English women's football and sparking nationwide pride and excitement.
This would happen for the girls, so it is really emotional because it's all those players before that have gone before that has contributed to this, and seeing those guys doing punditry and things like that now, they must be so proud. So yeah, it's really emotional, and I'm just so pleased.
No, it was brilliant. It was the moment of seeing them on the bus when they're actually seeing it. So it's a very moving, emotional moment.
Now, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent warned Chinese officials that ongoing purchases of sanctions Russian oil might trigger tariffs under pending U.S. legislation. In response, Beijing emphasizes commitment to safeguarding in energy sovereignty, signaling potential frictions amid rising tensions over sanctions enforcement.
President discretion to apply secondary tariffs on sanctioned Russian oil from, I believe it's from 0 to 500%. I believe he's used 100%. And we've heard from several of our European counterparts, NATO allies, even Canada, well, Canada is in NATO, that they will be following on that. So we would expect most of the Western alliance that has been supporting Ukraine to follow on that. So I think anyone who buys sanctioned Russian oil should be ready for this.
What was their response to that warning?
Viewers in Delas as some Palestinian families receive aid via airdrop and approach deemed risky and insufficient by recipient and aid groups. A hunger monitor warned that Gaza is heading toward a worst-case famine scenario, highlighting the urgent need for more effective humanitarian assistance amid the ongoing crisis.
This box of provisions fell from the sky over Gaza and is meant to feed Amal Abu Asi's family. It's a humiliation, the mother of three says, and not enough. Her children are hungry and unhealthy and can't remember eggs, meat and fruit. The IPC Hunger Monitor said on Tuesday famine is unfolding in Gaza, where Israel has placed severe restrictions on aid. Faced with a mounting international outcry, Israel on Sunday announced humanitarian pauses in its military campaign and assistance for those wanting to conduct airdrops. But aid groups say airdrops are ineffective, costly and tokenistic. Abu Asi wants aid to come in as it used to, via trucks through the border.
This package isn't even worth us running after it and dying for. They fall on people's tents, their homes, people fight each other, hold knives. It's just not worth it. If it was, we'd say yes, drop them. But no, we're against this.
His kids watch him unpack another box. It's not enough for a family of 8, he says. But the alternatives are fraught with danger. The UN estimates that Israeli forces have killed more than 1,000 people seeking food supplies, most of them near the militarized distribution sites of the US and Israeli-backed Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, or GHF. The GHF says it has distributed over 96 million meals since late May. We want something safer for us and our children, Zahir says. The IPC alert raised the prospect that the man-made starvation crisis in Gaza could be formally classified as a famine, and that could pressure Israel to let in more food. Israel has denied.
So viewers, thank you for watching and thank you for supporting. This is me, Tabinda, signing off. Stay tuned for more news, Desi TV USA, DTVNN and our OTT platform, DTV Flex, where you can access to over 3,000 channels. So stay tuned and stay with us.
Neurological care is a pressing healthcare challenge in Pakistan. That's why Helping Hand USA is building Kind R, a world-class hospital with 130-plus clinics that is set to establish new standards for neurological care in Pakistan. As the first phase nears completion, anticipation is growing for the launch in the second half of 2025. Give zakat and sadaqah through Helping Hand USA today and join this historic endeavor to redefine future healthcare in Pakistan.